Electronics fans. Today I'm going to answer the #1 question that I have been hearing from you all year. How do I tape my new rifle? Okay, so I don't have a new rifle to show you with. I just have one of our old ones, but I am going to do a retaping on this and let you know how you're supposed to tape your rifle whenever you get a brand new one in order to prevent it from getting broken. Okay, so big secret here. Nothing will ever guarantee that your rifle will not break. You just have to be as careful as possible. And taping it up well whenever you first get it, when it's brand new, is really helpful in ensuring that you have the most support against breaks as possible. Okay, so you got your rifle. The first thing you're gonna need is a roll of strapping tape. Strapping tape comes in a variety of sizes, but I like to use the thinner stuff. This one's about 1 inch or so. Some people like the 3-inch strapping tape. I don't like that because it doesn't give you as much maneuverability whenever you're taping the curvy areas like the neck of your rifle. What you want to do to start is tape a strip of it right here. And this already has strapping tape on it, so I'm not going to put any new strapping tape on it. But you're going to tape one strip here, and then if you're using this thin stuff like I am, I usually tape a strip and then another strip right until I'm covering this screw hole. Depending on how you want to do it, you can unscrew the strap, take the strap off, put the tape on, then screw the strap back through. I like to tape over the screw in this case, simply because it gives it more support and it keeps it through from coming loose too easily. The next thing you're going to want to do is actually remove this bolt. There's screw holes in the top of it. You're going to take those 2 screws out, take the bolt off, then you're going to put strapping tape. Now, the minimalist way to do this is to put one piece where this screw goes, one piece where this screw goes, one piece in the neck, and one piece right in front of the bolt. Some people will take their strapping tape and go from here to here, solid strapping tape all across the wood. It depends on how much protection you want. It depends on how heavy you want your rifle to be. That's up to you. One of the important things about the strapping tape is you don't want to wrinkle it. So if you wrinkle it, these ridges that are in it are not going to be able to do their job as well. So my recommendation, if you want to go from here to here, is to put several pieces, actually cut smaller pieces that wrap all the way around, make sure they overlap, wrap all the way around, overlap, wrap all the way around, overlap, and individual pieces all the way down. Usually you only need 1 coat of strapping tape. Some people like to put 2, extra insurance. Like I said, again, depends on how much support you want for your rifle. The last place you're going to put strapping tape, I've already retaped this tip. It's a little bit thicker than I like it up top, but that's because the wood underneath is pretty shredded. We have some really old rifles here that were donated to us. I've put 2 pieces of strapping tape around here and here, and then I've gone ahead and taped the actual electrical tape over this. Now for the electrical tape, I like PVC tape personally, but it's up to you, whatever kind you like to use. And the other thing about using electrical tape is breakable if you want to just pull it off and break it into pieces, but then you get this crinkly thing for one. And it also weakens the tape. Like, it's actually thinner and flimsier at the point where it gets broken than if you just had cut it in the first place. So while breaking your tape is okay if you are pressed for time or you don't have any scissors available, if you can get scissors, please do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape 3 strips on the top of the butt, and I'm going to overlap. The first one is going to go right in the middle and overlap down the sides of the rifle, and I'm not going to go any further than the screw at this point. I'm going to make sure it's nice and flat and wrinkle free. Whenever you buy a new gun, there's a pad on the ends, and the taping not only holds the pad on, but it actually makes your pads last longer. Now when I do my second and third pieces of tape, I'm not only overlapping this center piece of tape in the middle, but I'm coming down on the sides a little bit. See how this hangs over here? That way when I go around, I can also catch the edges of that and keep it from coming out. I am a little bit OCD about taping. I want all my equipment to look the same, and I want to follow the same patterns with everything. So when I start tape, I always start it on the bottom or the strap side of the gun. Then I'm gonna pull it as tight as I can while keeping it overlapped with the piece of tape that's on top here, and try to keep all the wrinkles out. Okay, after that first wrap is the hardest, and then you just roll on down. Make sure you're overlapping. I overlap 1/4 to 1/3 of the width of the tape as I go. Some people like a very, very small overlap. Some people like to overlap halfway. 1/4 to 1/3 is all you really need. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way down and cover this screw. So you'll notice I covered the spot where the swivel is actually attached to the gun. Then I'm gonna continue taping. There's a little secret that I like to do here. Pull this out, then slide it underneath your strap. Then when you come back around, now my tape goes over and then it goes underneath. So I'm going to do one more wrap around. And the tape that I put under the swivel, all it does is keeps this metal swivel from beating up the wood on your rifle. Last time, and just like I always want to start my taping on the bottom so that my edge is there, I'm going to stop my taping on the bottom too. So here I've got the end of my tape. I'm going to cut it. Don't want to break it. And I'm going to fold the end so it sits right here underneath the strap. Now you'll notice I did the same technique with the tip of the gun. Here's your first piece of tape, and then my second and my third pieces of tape, and then I wrapped around multiple times. After that, with your new gun, you're going to want to take your electrical tape and tape from here to here. Make sure you're covering all of the strapping tape. You don't want that strapping tape to show, not just because it's not pretty, but it actually could get caught on stuff with those ridges, but mostly you just want your gun to look nice and nice. A lot of people you'll see have their guns taped right here over this screw. That's because what happened is the screw generally got stripped out, or the gun got stripped out, and for some reason this screw won't hold anymore, so they'll tape here. When I actually dress the rifles up for show, you'll notice my bolts are all janky colors. So what I'll do is, after we tape this part here, I will put aluminum foil tape over the bolt to make sure it's silver. Again, make sure they all match. You don't want one having a big, especially if it's a different color. You definitely don't want to use a different color tape here than you do on the rest of the rifle. So tape that, then take aluminum foil tape, cut it very carefully. It cuts or rips really easy, and then you just tape it over the whole bolt so that even though you have silver chipping off and showing black through, you can actually cover that all up and not have to worry about it. Once you've got that taped, screw your bolt back in, and then the very last part that you want to tape with your white tape is here on this screw. Just like that we reinforced with the back screw, I'm going to start on the actual screw this time. And I'm going to wrap my tape around it. This will keep my swivel from sliding around and my screw from coming undone. I'm going to pull the tape. Once I get to the other side, I wrap twice now. I'm going to pull the tape out so I can go under the swivel and protect the wood. Once I've got that wood protected, I'm going to go one more time over the top just to make sure. And then I want to end with my seam on the bottom again, as always. So I'm going to pull it out just a little, cut it, and then tuck it underneath the strap so that all my seams are on the bottom of the gun. Now this one's already had this done, but you'll notice there are 2 Chicago screws on the strap of your gun. And whatever color your strap is, whether it's black or white or orange or whatever, you want to put some tape on those Chicago screws. Chicago screws come apart really easily. They tend to unscrew themselves as you're spinning. And so they'll come apart, and also they tend to leave marks like this one on your gun as you're spinning. So covering them with tape not only keeps them from coming out, but it keeps them from beating up your gun like that. I hope my taping videos have been helpful. I know they were a bit longer than some of my other instructional videos, but I really, like I said, I'm OCD about taping, and I believe that well-taped equipment, well taken care of equipment is going to be there for you longer. This is why we have things like rifles that have been donated to us from other schools who've used them for 10 years or more, and we're still able to use them because we get them from schools that took really good care of their equipment, and then we're taking really good care of it too. So the better you take care of your equipment, the longer it's gonna last you. Happy spinning, guys!